I kind of saw this coming a while back, but have you noticed now that OnePlus is no longer in the United States, the Pixel phones have basically replaced those. In fact, there's probably more similarities between those two, considering Pixel phones are the ones that tech YouTubers love to hate on now, but for slightly different reasons. I actually used to be one of the biggest OnePlus fans, and as they got more expensive, I started to lose interest. In fact, I actually switched to Pixel phones from OnePlus, and at that time they were more affordable, but of course now they're getting more expensive. I just wonder if there's going to be another company going for the best value category, although I guess there is the Pixel A series, and then you have FE and A series from Samsung, so maybe not. Now, OnePlus phones were always considered to have pretty fast performance, pretty smooth software, although not everyone liked their software choices. But now with Pixel phones, they're doing sort of the opposite. They don't really care if they're the fastest phone out there, as you can see here by the benchmark results. In fact, these new phones aren't even in the same ballpark as the new S26 Ultra, which could be a little concerning considering it's going to be supported for 7 years. And to me, that's where the extra horsepower on these phones really come into play. I think the performance on Pixel phones are probably going to be fine for most people, especially those first couple years. Probably one of the bigger issues that I've had with their phones in the past was overheating, which definitely seems to be improving on the newer models, but we'll have to see how that goes. I know I've seen some people complain about the gaming performance on these. I'm not sure that's really what they're going for with these phones. Funny thing is, I typically like the looks and color of the cheaper regular Pixel over the Pro versions. Just seems a little nicer with the matte finish on the edges, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. The battery size is actually just a tad smaller than the previous versions. The weird thing is my Galaxy S26 Ultra has even a smaller battery than the 11 Pro XL, and it lasted about 5 hours longer than the Pixel in my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness. So I'm not sure why there's such a drastic difference, but you do get 45 watt fast charging if you go with the Pro XL, which is not as fast as Samsung or OnePlus, but still not bad in my opinion. I feel like the faster you charge the battery, the harder it's going to be on the lifespan. Not sure if that's a fact, just my opinion. Obviously, battery life is going to vary for everyone, but from what I've seen so far, just okay battery life on the new Pixel 11 series. Probably the best parts about these Pixel phones is gonna be the software, well, at least for the most part. I'm not sure why they can't add clear all button as soon as you say recent apps, or why you can't adjust screen brightness with only one swipe down, like Samsung does for both of those. But they're always trying to add extra features that are usually pretty usable. I'm not quite sure about the new highlight feature on the back, which replaced the temperature sensor, although I'm not really sure if either of those are that useful, but still, nice to see that they're still trying new stuff. I know people always want the latest and greatest features, but when I see people complain about not getting updates on time or stuff like that, I always think back to my older Pixel, which was pretty much unusable after one of the updates, where you couldn't even use the touchscreen. Other times I've had issues where I couldn't text people or send images for some reason. It just always seemed like there was something like that was an issue with some of the older Pixel phones. Luckily, I haven't had those issues once I switched to Samsung a few years back. Hopefully other people aren't having those issues, but the other problem I see with the Pixel phones is they're eSIM only. I feel like it's just so easy to switch between phones using a physical SIM card. I assume Samsung's gonna do the same thing, and yeah, that's gonna be a sad day, unfortunately. Of course, you only have audio coming out of just one side down at the bottom. The other one's for look, but sounds pretty good overall in person. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of how this sounds compared to the previous Pixel 10 Pro XL. As far as cameras go, I know some people don't like the over processing that you sometimes get on Pixel phones compared to some of the competition. I feel like this is sort of personal preference, but I think the cameras on Pixel phones have actually been getting a little better each year, especially with video, compared to some of the earlier Pixel phones that I've used. And now that you can basically use AirDrop on Pixels and Samsung, I find myself using an iPhone less and less, which really the only reason I still have an iPhone around is to record some video stuff for YouTube. But here's a few quick samples just to give you an idea of what to expect on the new Pixel 11 and the 11 Pro XL. Sure, you get a little better camera quality on the Pro models with higher resolution and all of that, but I think the regular Pixel 11 still has pretty good quality and should be fine for most people if they want to save some money. I think design-wise, Pixel phones look much better than some of the OnePlus phones in the past. I might even give the slight edge over my S26 Ultra, but it definitely seems like small upgrades on the 11 series over the 10, which is pretty common nowadays with most phones really. The screen quality on these are nice and bright. They actually feel like pretty nice quality. It's probably going to come down to what phone you currently have on whether you should switch to these, but with the higher prices, I think people like me who have been pretty comfortable with Samsung phones, it might be tough to switch over to a similar priced phone with less capability, especially considering I haven't had any of the issues I've seen with Pixel phones using my S26 Ultra or my previous Samsung phones really. Of course, the big advantage with Pixel phones is they're actually in AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and T-Mobile stores where people usually buy phones from in the United States, which could definitely help Pixels be a little more successful than OnePlus. If you like tablets, phones, and other tech, I've got a lot more stuff that I'm working on as usual, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.